Okay, okay. Gave it a couple minutes. We are going to get going tonight. And y'all, I said it before, but I am really excited about the three ladies we get to hear from tonight. I always love when it's like homegrown, home team, hearing what they've done, what they're doing. And I love the other stuff too, but there's something sweet. I don't know. I'm from a small town, and we loved our home team. I don't know any of y'all were sports people, but we were. Um, but it's just gonna be great tonight. So we have a new double diamond, a triple diamond, and one of the top enrollers from the team this last month. And so we're gonna just jump right in. I'm gonna stop talking, but aren't you excited? Pumpkin spice lattes and tropical trip incentives. And I mean, there's so much to be excited about. Green carpet, who's going? Put a 1 in the chat if you're going. Put a 2 if you bought the live stream. I did both for some incentive. Anyways, some people are going and watching the live stream there. I think that's really fun. So that's a great idea. You can come be around the team and still watch the live stream there. So, all right. We'll get over that real quick. Okay, so let's get started and jump into this. Okay, where did she go? Victoria, there you are. Can you unmute? There you are. Congratulations, double diamond.
Thank you.
In August. Very, very awesome. So changing the graph for so many people promoting in August. I love that.
Thanks.
Love you, babe.
Are you pumped?
I am.
I know. Yesterday you're like, it still doesn't feel real.
It doesn't. I mean, I kept saying it for so long and seeing it on my mirror every single morning, every single night. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, like I erased it. I think it was the first. And I was like, triple diamond.
Yep, here we go. We got a new goal intact. I love that you're right there. Okay, tell us a little bit about, we always talk about because of it works, and we'll get there, but tell us a little bit about Victoria before it works.
Well, I was doing cakes from home. And when I say that took hours, it literally, there are times that 13 hours a day. And so I actually made a cake for my enroller, Billy. And I watched her, for, I think maybe a month or 3 months. I don't even remember how long before I asked her. And finally I reached out to her, and there was actually, I guess a wrap party here in Midland. I think it was in November. And she messaged me. She was like, okay, I think you should go with me. And so I went, and that night she tried to get me to enroll. And of course I was like, no, I cannot sell anything, even if it was free. So I came home. I came home, and of course, it was already put into my mind. So I was bugging my husband about it constantly. And he was like, would you just sign up already? And Billy called me on her way home, and she was like, okay, I'm following up. What are we going to do? Are we doing this? And I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to. And of course she's like, just send me your information and I'm just going to do it myself. And so I finally I was like, you know what? Okay. I think my husband was tired of me bringing it up. So I got started, and that was November of 2015. I look up because I have all my certificates. So February, I went Ruby. February 2016, I went Ruby. And then March 2016, I went Emerald. And in April, we were actually in California when I went Emerald. And so April of 2016, we found out we were expecting our third baby. And life was good. Life was going great. And our pregnancy took a turn. It took a turn we were not expecting. And that was the hardest time. We did everything we possibly could to try and keep our pregnancy. And it wasn't meant. So I stepped back, and when I thought I came back in, like I had, came in running when I first joined, there was something holding me back, and I didn't know what it was. And so I went diamond in April of 2017, and I lost strength. I lost strength from 2017 all the way until conference of this year. And there was we had so much life happen. It was my first conference, and there was from the time it opened to the lady that their baby was in the NICU to the very end when Mark was like, what's that barrier? What's holding you back? I'm giving you the green light. Now it's time for you to go. And it was at that moment that I realized I did have a barrier. I struggled from the time we lost our daughter. I did not feel worthy. I did not feel like we deserved this. What had I done in life that was so awful that I needed to go through so much pain. And even this year, we've gone through so much. My mom had to have, she was put in the hospital. She had a pacemaker put in. My husband had to fly down to Arizona to be with his dad, who had to have a triple bypass. And we were able to pay for him to just get up and go because of this business. And it wasn't until we started the Bible study, and it's been a really big eye-opener. And I feel like, I had a breakthrough. I was constantly having breakdowns, but last month I had that breakthrough. And when I say breakthrough, I am seeing things so much clearer. Every day is still hard. Losing a child is not what we expected, but I feel like God put me in this Bible study for a reason. I was pushing so hard for double every single month, but I think I needed to have that breakthrough with him for him to give me that next step.
Oh my gosh, I love you so much. And I am just so, every time you tell your story, like my heart goes out 100 times. And I know this Bible study has been rocking people's worlds in such a good way, because there's so much that comes with part of the hand that we've been dealt that is, in a sense, has nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? But how we wear it sometimes and how we walk through it, but what God can do in the midst of it is just life-changing. Like what you're saying, I love that, the breakdowns and breakdowns and breakdowns until there was this breakthrough. And I think, life is a journey of that.
It definitely is.
And we take those on, and that's hard. So we've had people come in, or life is hard right now. I can't do this business because it is so social media, and you put yourself out there and you don't want to appear one way when things are a certain way, and what will these people think, and all those kind of things. So how have you, continued through that? And some of it might not feel great, but how have you though continued through that? And what do you think your breakthrough came from?
I think it was, a lot of it was Mark I felt like he was just talking to me, what is keeping you, what is holding you back? And I like I said, I didn't think I deserved it. I was still holding on to, asking and wondering why did we go through this? Why did God, I felt like he was punishing me for something. And instead, I now see it. She was going to have so many health issues. So I now, I'm thankful, he didn't give her a life of suffering, but also during delivery, I lost more than half my blood. And if it was my choice, I would not have terminated my pregnancy. So I feel like he showed me this, like, I'm not punishing you, but I know you would not pick your life over your babies. And my two children, my other two kids still needed me, and he wasn't done with me. He's not done with me. And I have so much to offer to other people. And I feel, it has been the biggest blessing for us. I mean, we were on a one income household, which is super hard, especially here in West Texas. I mean, I feel like he put that piece into me for a reason. And now we have this little rainbow baby, which he saw before I knew. He saw this rainbow baby before I knew that was, he was in the plan.
Yep. And here he is.
Yeah.
A beautiful, healthy boy, just full of life and
so love. Full of life.
He's so perfect. And yeah, it's hard. And I think so much of life too, we want to think that a grieving process just ends, but it's carried on through life in so many different aspects. And so we have to continually walk through that and face it in different things. And sometimes it comes up when we're not expecting it. You're like, that was the weirdest thing that just happened. And that made me, think about this. But I think, one of the things that I have loved in your journey is your willingness to just love the people around you so strong in the midst of your hurt, and also just take that love in from your team and this group of people that love you so much.
Thanks. I always tell my team, like, it's me again. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're not tired of me yet. So that's good.
No, we won't get tired of you. So a little bit of some of the things you said when you were just talking that I loved was sometimes we forget to just have a simple little party for people to come to introduce them. But more than that, Billy asked you, and that planted a seed, even though your immediate reaction was, nope, no way, she's crazy, I will never do this. So if we, when we jump over just asking people, I think that's a huge thing. Now, what do you think, I'm interested in this a little bit, what do you think was something great that this team did for you, or your leadership did while you're walking through some of the painful things?
Not feeling like I had to continue. I mean, I messaged Billy, during my pregnancy, and I'm like, I'm on bed rest. I can't, in my mind, I was like, I can't do anything else. I cannot, I need to just focus on what can I do, to save our pregnancy. And I mean, she was there. She never okay, well, you have to do this, in order to stay in, or anything like that. It was never anything like that. And just the prayers that we got, I mean, that was just, we needed prayers more than anything. And we, now seeing it, we had all of that. And thinking about it also, I mean, I would not have been able to take time off. It wouldn't have just been, okay, you get so much time off. My husband had to go back to work. I desperately needed him here, but I also knew, at the time, he was the main provider, and we needed him to go back to work. So it was just me and my, two little ones. And I mean, I kept our house completely dark. I was going through that grieving process, but
don't forget to mention the bills.
We did get so behind. We got so behind on bills because I was I would pay them every single month. And I got to a point where I didn't care about anything. Didn't care about the bills. I mean, he was getting phone calls. He was trying to figure out, I mean, we had so many late notices, tacked onto each bill because I didn't care anymore. That it put us so far behind. And I mean, he had no choice but to go back to work. And now I'm like, you know what? I didn't have to ask anyone for time off. This was still here. And, my team was still going. They didn't stop because, I I was going through this hard time, but it wasn't a paycheck like had I been working it, but it was still something to help.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So when you felt like that green light came off, what did you feel like you let go of?
I felt like I let go of a little bit of the guilt of, I still say, of losing our pregnancy. I mean, I don't know how to word. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like, okay, like it's time for you to go. Like she's not suffering. She's at peace. She's doing everything she would not be able to do here on earth. And I think I let go of a little bit of that guilt, and then going into this Bible study, and I literally just listened to every chapter over and over and over and over. And it's just, I take something that I missed, the first round or the second round. And I mean, he comes home every day and I'm like, this is what they said today. I really need you to listen to it. It's been an eye opener. And I really feel now it's not so much, he wasn't punishing me. And it's more the enemy sticking that thought into my head that I wasn't worthy. I did something wrong to lose my pregnancy. And when things go good, we're like, thank God. When things go bad, we're like, why would God do this to us? When he's not doing anything bad to hurt us, but the enemy puts those just the slightest opening for a negative thought, and it just spirals out of control.
Mm-hmm. So true. And I think it's super powerful, what you choose, the voice you choose to listen to, because we know the accusing voice is not God's, and sometimes our voice just lines up with that accusing voice. And so we're speaking the same thing as that voice is speaking. And that's what we're just coming into agreement with, but we know the Lord's voice is always speaking in love, always speaking life over us, and so not that we aren't going to go through hard times, not that not to wear that with a coat of shame, but know in him there's love. Yeah. At times there's correction, but it's never from an accusing place that comes down so strong that you did this and this is what you deserve. He's just not that way. And so I'm so glad you're in the midst of walking in a new.
Me too. It's been a long time coming, but I feel I needed to be in this spot at this time, pushing for this promotion, win this Bible study. I just couldn't be more perfect.
I love that. I love how you can say too and see, because you said you joined November 2015, right? Mm-hmm. So, and now you went ruby, emerald, diamond in 2016, that spring. Is that what you said? Or was it a whole year before you went diamond?
It was a whole, yeah. I mean, diamond in 2017. And then, I lost rank.
Yeah.
I lost rank from the next month. So May of 2017 up until we went to conference of this year.
2019, but you're saying now, I was ready for this now. I thought I was ready for it before, and I think sometimes we get caught up. Sometimes we don't want to but I'm ready for it. But I always love, Cammie would say this prayer, like, Lord, I'm ready for that next runner. But if you don't think I'm ready, teach me what needs to change. Show me what I need to let go of. Show me what needs to improve. I'm ready for that next promotion. But in his perfect timing, everything comes together for his glory and for our good.
Yes.
Which is so powerful. So congratulations on going double diamond, but more than that, just walking in victory in your life. If you could, leave everybody with something, whether it's a tip, whether it's a, not a tip, just a life, what would you want everybody to know that's on here tonight?
If you lose rank, do not let it stop you. I see my kids every single morning. I was just talking to my husband today. I said, I want to do something in our daughter's memory. If it's find an organization to donate to, I want to do something in her name. We haven't found the thing that just speaks to us, so we haven't done it, but we know we want to do it. And like I said, just seeing my kids every single day, I didn't want them to think when times get hard, we just quit. We saw mom do it. And I wanted them to know when things get hard, you keep going, you keep pushing. And my daughter was gone when I went double. And so when she came home yesterday, I brought her to my room and I was like, look, and she was like, oh my gosh, you did it. She was so excited. So, it's just, and I want them to know when you want something, you work for it. It's not just given to you. So don't stop. If you lose rank, like I said, I was from 2017 up until 2019, but if I would have let that stop me, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah. And a double diamond and on your way to the next thing too, because you're just going to keep moving forward in it. I know. And the way you love your people and love your team, they're going to feel that and work in that from that place, which is going to be super exciting. But I will always say the only mistake you can make in this business is to quit. Every other mistake is to learn. That's the mistake you don't want to do. Sometimes people quit and they come back and that kind of thing, but man, if you will stick with it, what will come back to you in rank terminology, but in life, what comes back to you when you do something hard, you're like, I didn't know I could do that. And I just did that. To me, I'm like, okay, to God be the glory, because I know I couldn't do that on my own, but I'm like, man, that is such a great feeling to know I stuck something out and I did it. And that's amazing. And so you just take it in and you celebrate it. And it's going to be awesome too, what you do in your daughter's honor. And
thank you.
We're excited to see that part of the journey too.
Thank you.
All right. You're amazing. All right, Estephany.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
Good. Congratulations.
Good. I'm still so moved by Victoria's story. So if I'm really going to try to make it through without crying.
I know. When I started lining up tonight too, I'm like, oh Lord, I don't know what you got planned for tonight, but it's going to be good.
It's so crazy because a lot of what she talked about, the Lord dropped in my spirit. I'm really going to try it. We're not even 5 minutes in, but I guess you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. But congratulations to Victoria. My heart is with you. I can't even imagine. So, yeah.
Yeah. No.
So.
God, it's so good.
Yeah, so triple diamond, it happened. It's crazy.
It's awesome. Congratulations.
It's crazy.
There's no doubt in my mind.
You
were powerful.
Oh, man.
So
Ben and Danielle Boyle, that's what that is. Shout out to them. No, seriously, just want to thank Ben and Danielle and just all the leadership. But with them, it's unconditional love, and they've been with me through every storm, every celebration. They love me unconditionally. So, kind of like Victoria was talking about with Billy, they never put pressure on me, but they inspired me and influenced me. And they do that with not just me, with everyone. So thank you, Ben and Danielle. I know they're not on, but hopefully they'll see the replay.
Yeah. No, they're amazing and you're amazing. And it's just such a great team. And I strongly believe there's so many people on here. We say it, you're in business for yourself, but we're definitely not in business by ourselves.
That is so true for this team. So true.
Yeah. Okay, girl. So tell us a little bit about life before it works.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So before I started at Works, I work in human resources. I've been with my agency for 10 years, a little bit over 10 years. I still work full time. And so I was doing that. And I knew there was more. Like, I knew I had just really started in ministry. I've been in ministry all my life, but as far as like what God has called me to, I was deep in that. And so I'm like, but I know there's more, you know. And 5 months before I had joined, my father's best friend prayed over me, and he said, you know, there's going to be an opportunity that comes your way. You have a very entrepreneurial spirit, and God wants to bless you, because through you, he's going to bless your family. And so I'm bawling, right, and crying. I'm like, oh God, okay. And sure enough, 5 months later, this business is introduced to me, and I'm like, is this it? Like, you know, and it took me 3 weeks to jump on board. It took me 3 weeks, but I said yes. I didn't have the 99. I put it on my credit card. Side note, that credit card is paid off today in full. And so I just jumped in. But funny story, it took me, 3 weeks to say yes. And then 2 weeks I just sat on my kit for 2 weeks. I didn't know what to do. And then a couple weeks later, my enroller decided to stop doing it works. So I just kind of was like, okay, what do I do now? I've never done anything like this before, And then I just started following all the leadership on Diamond Empire. Like if you looked like you was doing something, I was following you. And so I found Danielle, of course, living in Beverly Hills, living the life. And I didn't know she was my direct upline. So that was totally a God thing. And her and I linked together, spoke for 3 hours, and it's been history ever since. So, and I actually didn't find out she was my direct upline until 5 months later. So I thought she was just being nice, but of course she was being nice and helpful, but yeah. So I joined February 2016, and here we are, built for Prez and going for it.
I love it. That's awesome. So what would you say is one of your because of it works?
Because it works, I would definitely say my mindset. I always knew, and everyone that's on this Zoom, I don't care if you've been on for 2 weeks or a day or 4 years, you saw a vision. When whoever introduced this business to you, you saw something. But once you get in it and you get surrounded with the people and you get surrounded with the culture and the community and the products and the clients, you grow, you just grow. Like you can't do nothing but grow. And I will say that's been the number one thing for me is I'm dreaming bigger. Things that we did an exercise with Sherry a couple weeks ago, things that I was uncomfortable even saying, let alone writing down. Like I'm verbalizing those things. Like it's insane. My daughter, my 12-year-old daughter is, she's been watching me do this business 3.5 years, and to see what it's doing to her and how she's speaking, that in itself is way worth more than any kind of bonus Mark could have given us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. My girls will be like, Mom, you did that. Mom, we're doing. I'm like, oh yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. When it came in, you just changed it all.
Yeah. So, but no, Aaliyah's watched my journey, and she, kind of like Victoria, she got excited when I told her I went triple. And every time I promote, like I do something special for her, whether it's a shopping spree. So when I went triple, like all she wanted to know what her shopping spree was, where it was going to be. It was funny, but she just knows like there's always progress and there's always growth there.
Yeah. I love what both of you guys said with that, because I try to keep that in mind too. And I feel like that's because I heard somebody say it, and there's people on here who might not have heard this, but like, one way to keep your family in your business is rewarding them with your promotions and stuff. Like, mm-hmm. Hey, little or big, like, let's go to the dollar store, like we just promoted if that's where we're at, or I just signed a loyal customer, thanks for, just rewarding and letting them be a part of the business is just powerful because they feel like they're doing their part. And as they grow up, you know, like I know you are too. I'm like, I'm in this business. Like I'm in it for, you know, however long it is. So my kids are going to grow up with me. So if you're holding, you know, a tiny person, you're listening right now to someone who's been in it 5 years. So my, you know, somewhat tiny people, they weren't super tiny when I started, but they're way bigger now, but they feel just as much a part of my business as I
mean, yeah, I mean, try to see it from their perspective. You're right. You know, I'm sure every single person that's on the Zoom asks some point at the beginning of your business, when am I getting paid? Like, where's the money at?
Yeah.
You know? And so imagine from their perspective, they're seeing you do all this work. You know, I'm spending less time with my mom. I'm not seeing my mom as much. You know, what are you going to show them for that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let that marinate for a second. I'm like, I gotta show some to my daughter. Like, she's noticing that I'm spending all this time with other distributors. I'm bringing her with me to events, to distributors' houses. You know, she knows what it is. But once she starts seeing, like you said, rewards, or like, hey, let's go get some froyo, or, you know, when I get a 400, you know, box, you know, we do something special, and it makes her feel like she's part of it too.
Yeah, that she's giving to it too. And I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does, what we talk about this a lot. And so what does it look like for you doing the business? You're full-time, you're single mom, you work full-time, and your daughter's busy. Actually, we talked a little bit about this in our triple chat today, because I was like, okay, who works full-time and has kids and a bunch of other obligations? I was like, oh, Estephany does.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. But it's such a privilege. I feel so honored, seriously, and I thank God, because it gives me so much satisfaction and fulfillment. But yes, I still do work full time. So how does that look like? Like today, well, in the mornings, I'm sending anywhere between 100 and 200 host-to-post messages. So I'm doing that forward all. And then I follow up on those messages when I'm walking to meetings or I'm walking to the restroom, or I take my 15-minute break. The same thing at lunchtime. And then when I get off of work, I'll try to send another batch of 100 and follow up through the evening. So that's, I mean, it's boring, y'all. I'm sorry. It's not like fireworks, but it's the truth. I mean, if you do the small things consistently, and I think my sister Tracy is on here, she'll tell you it works, you know? So host to post, friending new people. I wrote that down. I am so big on that. You will hear me saying that left and right. Friend new people. Clean up your friends list. I think Kelly may have posted a post on Diamond Empire how to do that. Just go through people that you know are never going to comment, people that have already said no to you, like they don't want to host the post. Get them off your friends list. Like, get them off. Even if it's your cousin, get them off. You know, you're not going to talk to that cousin anyway. So clean up your friends list. Friend new people. So some tips how I do that. I go to ads. Ads are my absolute favorite. And it's kind of weird. Everyone knows when you start talking about an ad, you magically see it on Facebook. So start talking about razors or looking up razors, and then go to an ad and go to the comments and start friending people. Those are organic, real people, y'all. Dog videos. Pet videos. Those are my absolute favorite just because I love watching them. I love watching puppies. I could watch them all day. Or Liz's puppy. But I go there and I just friend. I friend away. So I do a minimum 20 to 25 friend requests a day. Minimum. So stories. If y'all go to my page, you will always see stories on my page. And some tips with that. The first story, the first picture of the day is a really good before and after picture. Because I don't know about you guys, when you're seeing people's stories up top, if the picture looks interesting, I'm clicking on it. Mm-hmm. You know, so I try to get a really good before and after picture. Has my first picture, Then I do, the same product or products package. And then I use the first picture, has my last picture, and add a poll. I add a poll and I say, like, it's never a yes or no. It's always a yes and yes. So it'll say, I want these results. Yes, with exclamation points, deets. Give me details, So it's always a yes and yes. And they taught us that at conference, I think. So I took that. So yeah, host to post, networking, expanding your network, cleaning that up, stories, and working with your team.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I loved one of the things that I learned is, okay, when you're sending messages out there, it creates conversations to happen, which gets my inbox with stuff coming back. And I love getting those going in the morning, because a lot of times when both my girls were home for homeschool too, it was like, I got to focus on these kids. So I'm going to get up early, get these out, so that then, like you said, when I'm going to the bathroom, or like, I can follow up with the conversations that are happening back. But I've already started the ball rolling, and it's going in the direction I want it to go. Now I'm in control of responding back. And I feel like that's something you have to do when you're working full time. And
no, you do. You have to be intentional with your time. I'm a firm believer, give somebody something to do and it'll get done, that has like a list of things to do. And then usually I try to go to the gym. So I'm getting that in. Aaliyah has practice or she has tutoring. So I'm either messaging in my car. G's called me and she's like, are you sleeping in your car or what are you doing right now? I'm like, I'm not sure, but I'm getting things done, and then I do nonprofit work. So like last Friday, I got up in the morning, I sent out my messages. I got ready for my event. We went to the University of Kentucky, go Cats. And we met up with the students there and told them about our organization and how they can volunteer. I followed up on all my messages, and then I met with my brand new distributor. So I didn't even get home. I had to get Aaliyah in between that time. I didn't get home till about 11 o'clock that night. Because I met with my new distributors and I was launching them. So, but it's completely worth it when you see your new distributors and you see your team duplicating what you're doing, and they're seeing success and they're seeing the money. It's completely worth it.
Yeah. What's one of the biggest things you feel like you've had to overcome?
Oh my gosh, myself. Let's be real, y'all. Okay, we about to get real. All the way real. Okay. Because this is piggybacking off of Victoria. There's I believe there's two groups of people in life. There are people that's very serious things happen. And I kid you not, Victoria, okay, Stephanie, don't cry. Just get it together. All right. So I'm sitting in my car and I'm like, God, what do you want me to share today? Like, and he just kept saying excuses. And I'm like, okay, excuses. And so I start writing things down, and he's like, things that happen in your life. Like 2018, guys, was life for me. Like, if I can burn 2018 up or have one of those, Men in Black flashers, I would completely do it, because my brother literally was hours from dying on us. Had to be airlifted to Cleveland, Ohio, which is 5 hours away. We have no family there. I had to leave my parents there. All the credit cards that I had paid with all my bonuses I maxed them, every single one out, every single one. I didn't want to leave them up there. I had to come back to my job. It was hard. And then at the same time, I was dealing with, I'm not enough. What Victoria was saying, I'm not worthy. Why should I promote to Triple Diamond? I'm not a good leader. I was hearing all these, negative things that the enemy was saying to me, why is this happening? Why is this happening to our family? Why is this happening to my disabled brother? He doesn't even why is this happening? This doesn't make any sense. It seems like I'm going backwards instead of forward, So God kept just dropping, he's like, but those are excuses. But let me tell you something. There's two groups of people. There's a group of people that serious life happens to, like Victoria, losing a child. I can't even, her family member getting sick, my brother almost dying, my parents being 5 hours away and me driving back and forth to Cleveland all last year. Things in my personal life were going crazy. Me dealing with, I'm not worthy and I'm not enough and I shouldn't be doing this business, etc. But God was like, what are you going to do? Then there's the group of people that my car broke down. I can't message today. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm hurting anybody's feelings, but it's not even me, I swear. My dog got sick. When you're in roller calls, I had the longest day at work. People got on my nerves. I can't. What are you going to do? I'm going to validate every excuse you have right now. They're all valid. Every single one of them. You're tired from work. Your kids are driving you nuts. Your child is not well. Your car broke down. Every excuse is absolutely valid right now in this moment. Nobody needs to stamp it from now on. But I'm asking you, God is asking you, what are you going to do? Don't allow that to stop you. All the life that happened to me, that happened to Victoria, look how God is using that to bring him glory and for us to inspire other people. In the midst of our mess, we couldn't even see in the midst of our mess, but he is going to be able to inspire so many and touch so many lives and change so many lives through Victoria, through my story, through every single one of y'all's story. Liz had life. I remember Liz had life. Her mom passed away. I'm so sorry about that, Liz. Her husband was in the hospital, but I saw her push. And that's the other word God dropped in my spirit today, push. And I spoke to Mama Marsha about it. And sometimes we hear push through. We always hear that, but push through, no matter what happens, push through. And we always think in our minds that is strenuous. It has to be hard work. But let me tell you, baby, the Holy Spirit says that all it means is strenuous does not mean it has to be hard, but simply not quitting. Push through. Don't quit. Get up the next day. Don't quit. Victoria, she's still here. She didn't quit. I'm still here. It took me 3 years to promote to diamond or triple diamond. I didn't quit. Liz is going strong. She's not quitting. We're going to see this thing through. We're going straight to the top. So push through. And every excuse that you have is absolutely valid, but don't allow it to keep you from moving forward. That should be the very reason you push through. Don't quit.
I love that. Okay, one last thing. You got one last thing?
One last thing, plug in. When in doubt, plug in. When in doubt. Someone said I'm battling with depression. You need to message me. Yeah, I get it. I was there. I was there. I know Victoria was probably there. Liz is probably, so many of my team members, Tracy, I remember Tracy. Guys, you deserve this. So that's the other thing. You deserve this. Every year I go to conference, I see new people in the top 150. And I look at myself. I don't look at Sherry. I don't look at Stacy. I don't look at Kelly. I don't look at Esty. I don't look at Danielle. I don't look at anybody because it's my responsibility. And there are new people on that stage every year. Why can't it be me? Why can't it be me? It can be me because but I'm not putting in the work. I'm making these excuses, whatever it is, that looks like. You know what I'm saying? So it can be you. It absolutely can be you. I was the girl sitting on these Zooms and the last person to check in, super quiet, no video, no audio, sitting on my kit for 2 weeks, didn't do anything. The girl who's in roller stopped doing the business. But here I am today. So you guys can absolutely do this business. Every single one of you, just decide and plug in. When in doubt, plug into the team. So I reached out to my leaders, to Gigi. All of y'all have seen Gigi Simmons, Lauren to Saint. She's like a LC rock star. And I'm like, y'all, we got to get loud. Like, we got to plug in. We've been quiet. We haven't really been present. Like, we need to step it up. And they stepped up to the challenge, and I am too. I've watched every single one of Sherry's videos. I've been commenting. I've been watching. Plug in. When in doubt, plug in.
Yes. All of it. Yes. I love
Good
it.
night. I love you. So.
Okay. Thank you so much. So,
and then just one last thing, be present.
Be present.
Be present. Like, whether it's hard to juggle so many things, just be present. Like, if you're a mom in that moment, be a mom. You know, if you're signing an LC, be a distributor in that moment. You know, be a wife in that moment, be a sister in that moment. You can do all these things. Just be that specific thing in that moment.
I love that. I love that. One of my friends just told me the other day, just be where your feet are, Stacey. Wherever your feet are, be there. And you're going to win. I'm like, okay, that's what I needed to hear today. I'm like, the Lord's trying to tell me something, because Stephanie's saying it. She's saying it. So good. And you know what? I want to just, you know why zebras stick together? Have you guys ever heard this? In the safari, the reason why zebras stick together is because lions, with their lines, and when they're together, lions can't see them individually and think it's a big animal that they can't take down. When a zebra gets off by itself, the lion can see it. So if you're in a place right now where you feel like, oh, I'm out by myself and getting attacked and I feel all alone, and that makes you want to close off, that means you need to get in and get around so you're surrounded by the people, so the lion can't take you out, but you're surrounded by the group that's going to keep going forward and keep you alive and give life to you.
That's so good.
So get in your
so true. Yeah. Dory said, don't isolate. It's so good. So true. Don't isolate. That's what the enemy wants you to do.
Mm-hmm. Don't be by yourself. Thank you, Estephany, and congratulations.
Adios.
All right, Liz.
Hey, friend.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Like, how do I even go after that? Like, at all? Like, those, y'all, that was so good. Like, those both of them are so deserving. Like, congratulations to both of them. I know they worked so hard for those promotions. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. And I know even you're on here right now as one of our top DT and LC enrollers from last month. But I know and one of our triple diamonds, you went to triple, and just like both these girls, you know, it's funny, you both talked about it. And I was actually, Marco, Pole, and Kelly, I'm like, oh my gosh, all these girls have had so much life happen to them that are on tonight. And I'm still sitting in that thinking, and they're still going. Like, there's something about the grace to go through hard things and keep going and moving forward. And I know you have too, and you're walking through stuff and you're still producing huge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been last time I was on here, I went triple in June, and then like life has been like awful. So it's taken a lot to get back like in the swing of things and like everyday life and finding like a quote unquote normal again, but doing it.
No, you're amazing. You are doing it.
Yeah, it's like there's like things you can either like when God, because my mom passed away literally like 7 days after I was on Tips from the Top last time. Yeah, like a week after, and it was totally unexpected. I just got a call and it was random, and like in your mind you just like want to like just cut everything off, but then in reality you're like life still goes on, like everything around you still operating, and like you build this business and like your team still needs you, and the bills still come in, and that like stuff in the house still needs to be done, like life still goes on. So, and I've never ever been a quitter, so I can either sit there and feel sorry for myself and like just let like my life crumble on around me and just feel sorry, or, you know, pick up the pieces and try to learn like from this and like whatever's going to make me stronger in the process and push forward. And so like no matter how much I didn't want to like talk to people and I wanted to just sit in my bed and like just hide in the dark, I literally would like, if like say to myself, like if I don't want to do anything today, like I can literally just copy and paste. Like if I can do anything, I can copy and paste. Like I can get on my Facebook and I can sit there and I can add people. Like I can at least do that. And so I was still signing like 3 days after my mom died, like in June, I was still signing people. I still finished June like strong, and I continue like to push forward in that. Like there's some days still, because it's still real fresh, like I still have bad days where I don't feel like doing stuff. But y'all, you just have to decide if it's important to you. Like if you set a goal for yourself, like you can, like what Estephany was saying, like you can have excuses, but you can have results also, but you can't have both. Like and one thing I've been like stressing on my team is like you can hop on all the Zooms, you can watch all the trainings, you can do all the things, but if you're not doing the actions that are putting it in place, then nothing's going to come from it. You have to sit and do the actions every single day. Like there's no secret to why I'm signing people except doing the same stuff over and over and over again. Like that's it. And I literally, like Stacey, I know like when we were like roomies at women's conference, we kept talking about, and like Story was talking about this too, and Amanda, like success leaves clue. Like that was like a thing that weekend. Like everybody kept talking about success leaves clues, success leaves clues. And it's so true, you guys. So like you can never learn too much. Like I follow and watch so many people's trainings and YouTubes and tips and anything that's working for someone else. I'm watching and I'm plugging in because I never want to stop like learning. And if they're doing it and it works for them, I'm trying it too. So there's nothing that I won't do. There's nothing that I won't try. Like, and I will do all the things. I plug into everything. I'm on every tips from the top. I'm on every family call. We have team huddles every Sunday that I run. I'm on every power hour. Like it's just showing up and doing the things. Like there's no magic sauce or like there's no secret. It's just doing the work and being consistent, and then the results follow, and deciding if it's something that's really important to you. Like, because like I said, you can talk about it all day long, but are you really putting in the action? Like, are your non-negotiables really non-negotiables? Are you just saying they are, like, to your team, like just to fit in? Or is that something that you're doing when behind the scenes when no one's watching? So
I think you just really nailed it on the head, because it's easy to say, oh yeah, I'm doing that, or oh yeah, I did that. But what you're doing when no one's watching, when no one's looking in, is going to be, you know, where a lot of your success is at. So when you're talking to your team right now, what are the things you're wanting? If we were your new distributors coming in, wanting to get started with you, Liz, ready, going to do anything you told us to do, because we know you know what to do to be successful, what would you want us to do?
If you're brand new, like first I have like make your 30s list. Personally with my new distributors, I don't know that other people might not do this. I think I was talking to actually Tracy the other day about this. Like it might seem overwhelming to some people, but it's something that I prefer doing. I get on one-on-one coaching calls with every single one of my new distributors. I want them to know my face. I want them to know I'm a real person and not just somebody sending them tasks to do, like, do this and this and that. Like, I want them to know who I am. And I'm telling them make their 30s list. Let's work on that. I teach them how to add to their network and how critical that is. Because if you're not adding to your network and you're not in front of new people every single day, like your business isn't going to grow. That's like if you owned like a coffee shop and you only had one customer and it was the same customer that came in every single day, like your business wouldn't grow. So you have to like be in front of new people every single day. I teach them how to host a post. I challenge everybody to get 10 host a post up every single day, no matter what, as part of their non-negotiables. The more, the better. Interaction is huge. Interacting on people's posts, you have to show love to get love. Like, people aren't going to see your stuff if you're not interacting with their stuff. And like, just teaching them the non-negotiables, and again, making them non-negotiables. Like, it's not going to work if you're not working. It's a really simple, it sounds simple, but then you get people are like, it's not working for me. Okay, well, like, what have you done today? Well, I sent a message to 2 people. Okay, well, that's not that's not going to work. So then breaking it down, like, I'll literally break it down every single task. Like, okay, let's do this task first. Let's add 50 people. Let me know when you're done with that. They'll come back. Okay, send this message to 30 people. They'll let me know when they're done with that. And just walking them through until they're comfortable doing it on their own. And that's how I launch my distributors.
I love that. Okay. With distributors, you had a great month with distributors last month. How would you say, what does that come back to?
I decide, because I can sign customers all day long. I've always been a strong LC enroller. And like, at the beginning of last month, and I've never been like terrible at signing distributors. Like, I'll average, like, I always fill my steps. I've always like been a steps girl. And of course, when we have like a promotion, like, I'll sign like a lot during those times. But I never really pushed for distributors. I always pushed for customers. And so like, at the beginning of last month, I was like, I really want to change that. That's the weakest thing I'm in. Like, that's my weakest point. And I want to change that. I want to be able to sign distributors as easy as I can sign customers. So I switched my focus, and I wasn't like, and I still signed 30 customers, not even focusing on customers. And that was just by getting the regular host to post up. And one way, like, I started doing opportunity host to post as much as I did product host to post. Like, if instead of just getting through the task and just trying to get post up, I was intentional on what post I sent them to post. Like, if they said they would put a post up for me, I will go to their page. And if I think that they would be good at the business, like, you are the company that you keep, I would send them an opportunity post instead. Because not only is it putting the bug in their ear, but also, like, you know, their friends are seeing that post and commenting too. So I got a lot of potentials on that. Posting more opportunity posts, that kind of thing. I've been doing opportunity Zooms every week on my page live, where I like paid for the webinar Zoom, and like, me and some other girls will hop on and tell our stories and why it works and that kind of thing. Like, those have been really big because I've gotten a couple of people who've joined that have actually watched those videos and reached out to me because of that. So again, just doing like all the things that I see other people doing, just stepping it up instead of doing the minimum, and shifting my focus towards distributors, which was my weakest, versus customers.
Yeah, no, I love that. Where you focus, where you draw your attention to, what you speak, what you do, because you can figure anything out. I mean, that's one of the things, like, when Estephany was like, why can't I be on that stage too? Exactly. I'm like, these guys figured it out. We can figure it out too. And a lot of times, like you said, success does leave clues. So you're sitting here listening to, you know, a new triple, a new double, one of our top enrollers. They're like, we send these messages out. We're making sure we're posting. We're growing our network. We're adding our friends. You know, we hear all these things over and over and over. But then at some point, you got to implement them and you got to do them. I think one of the most life-changing Zooms for me was just when Danielle promoted to presidential, and she's like, yeah, I just did the things. I'm like, yeah, because, right, I don't know why at that point for me, it just was like, yeah, you just do the things. Like, and you do them continually. And like Estephany said, it's not that exciting. It's not always like, woo, this is fun, I'm going to go. But I will take on Maya's advice. I always just go, okay, smile while I send this message. Like, just smile. Maybe they'll feel my smile vibe and want to be a part. But I love that. Okay, if you were right at time to end, so if you could leave anybody with just one last thought.
Just, first of all, whatever your goal is this month, stop thinking small, y'all. Like, don't be a step to success. Like, oh, I want to sign 3 distributors and 4 customers. Because Sherry Lynn, of course, had like all the triples and about read the 10X rule, and it talks about that. Like, say you want to make $100 or $1,000 like a month, and then you change that to $100,000 a month. Would you rather fall short of that $100,000 a month or that $1,000 a month? So whatever your goal is, change that. Like this month, like I was mad at my month last month. Like it was big to other people, but to me, that's not where I set my goal. I fell short of what my goal was. So this month, I actually upped it to I actually want 40 LCs and 12 DTs this month. So setting it higher and pushing for a higher goal, that's going to change like your perspective altogether. And what, like, because once you hit those bigger goals and see that you can actually do it, your whole mindset's going to shift. Like once you can actually believe that you can sign more than 4 customers a month, or you can sign more than 3 distributors a month, it's going to change your entire business. And just the last thing would be show up, you guys. Like stop, like if it's important to you, throw out the excuses. Like Estephany was saying, like things are going to happen in your day, but if this is important to you, like your regular job, like if you work a regular job, do you show up to work even when you don't like really, not really feeling it today, or you know, I'm just having a bad day, or my dog got sick, or my hamster ate something. I don't know if that really happens, but like those type of excuses, it's like you're lying to yourself. You're just making excuses because you don't feel like it. Make yourself go through the emotions until it becomes a habit where you do it without thinking about it. And then your consistency is going to change. It's going to be just as easy for you, like brushing your teeth and taking a shower each day. Your business is going to change. I promise you, if you guys do that, 30 days, 90 days, your business is going to skyrocket. So just show up for yourself just like you would. Treat it like a business. They'll pay you like one.
I love that. Treat it like a business and you'll get paid like it's a business. You keep showing up. It is easy to have excuses. It is, you know, we can look at the excuses or we can have results, but it is hard to have both. And it doesn't mean that excuses aren't real and don't affect us and aren't there. But man, when you can learn to just walk in where you are and know that you are worth it, because a lot of times those excuses then snowball into something else that all of a sudden we're like, well, maybe this just isn't for me. Maybe this was for everybody else. And you're like way down a hill you should never have started to go down. You got to pick up your, you know, pull up your big girl panties or whatever and march back up that hill. And sometimes that's the hardest part, is just to march back up the hill. But you know what you do when you have to march back up the hill? You go, hey guys, I fell. I need help getting out of this place. And people will turn around and go, hey, there's always a seat for you up here. There's always a place for you in this business. We're going this way together, you know? And I love the fact that you guys have all talked about plugging in, being a part, and talking about mindset. Every one of you talked about that, and just the key to everything. And so I don't know. I'm excited after this. I loved when Estephany talked about showing up to those videos. You talked about showing up. Victoria's like, I got the green light and started showing up a little more. Like all those things. I challenge every one of you on those, this 30-day push. Get on that video. I was talking to Sherry right before the Zoom was talking. I'm like, I'm doing one if I haven't done it yet, you know, because we all find little niches that it's like, okay, this is really working for me. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I just decided that even if I have a little niche working and I haven't done something that scares me to do something new, I'm going to try it, you know. So anyways, I learned today that when you send out on the Connect app text, make sure you put your name. It's like, who is this? I'm like, cool. First time doing that one. Okay, got it. Put my name. But get on those videos on the 30-day push. Interact with them, be a part, keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it. For everybody who doesn't know, really quick, the winner of the MacBook Pro was announced today, and there was a new contest, a new Host-a-Post. So if anybody's on here new and hasn't figured out what Host-a-Post is, quickly message the person who enrolled you. If they don't know, ask their enroller. Somebody knows what Host-a-Post is. But we're giving away $500 Christmas cash right now for anybody who will host a post for us. And so that was just announced that we have that. Green carpet. I'm so excited to see all y'all there. And let me see. Stop telling myself I'm not good enough leader. Absolutely. Madison, you are more than a great leader. Gosh, what you offer to this team, what I've learned from you, tons of people, you are an incredible leader. So yes, that thinking has to change. And y'all, when you get that wrong thought in there, okay, life changing for me really quick. With what they're saying about mindset, life-changing for me. Our pastor put up this beautiful picture of the most beautiful garden one time. And he said, do you know what this represents? And I'm like, a beautiful garden? I don't know. I was like trying to figure out. He's like, a faithful gardener. The picture of this immaculate garden is the product of a faithful gardener, because weeds are going to come. Weeds are going to come. So like when that thought comes in, like I'm a bad leader, oh, you know what I'm going to do with that? I am not a bad leader. In Jesus' name, I can do all things through Christ. I'm a great leader. So you've got to be a faithful gardener. You just take out the bad and make sure, don't just take out the bad though, make sure you put it in with something good. To me, I'm going to tell you, make sure you put it in with something that lines up with God's word and, you know, become everything he called you to be. So, okay. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for this team. I thank you for each and every person on here, for the opportunity you've put in our hand. But God, more than anything, things we would hear tonight is just not to listen to the voice of the accuser, but God, truly listen to your voice and who you say we are. I thank you for this tool that you have placed in our hand. Your word says that you will bless the work of our hands, but God, it does say the work of our hands. So God, let us not get lazy or grow weary in good doing in the business. We thank you for the gift that it is. I thank you for this gift that has allowed us all to connect in such a crazy way, God, through raps, is what it all started with. But God, I thank you for that gift. And I pray, Lord, that we wouldn't just keep it to this group of us, but God, we would continue to share it with the people out there, knowing that it's our job to share and it's their job to decide if it's something they want to do. And just continue to give everybody peace and grace tonight and strength. And may we all just do something that even blows ourselves away before the night ends. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. Thank you. Stephanie, Victoria, Liz. Y'all are amazing. We're going all the way. We're not going small. Right? Everybody, before you hop off, just say, I'm going big. I'm going big. Just let us know.